An Owensboro doctor accused of importing illegal birth control confesses in federal court. Dr. Randall King is one of hundreds of doctors charged in a nationwide Medicaid fraud sweep. Today, he admits to billing Medicaid $68,000 for IUDs not approved by the FDA. Now, the U.S. government actually issued a warning on this very issue just a few years ago. He tried to save patients money. That's why Dr. Randall King, through his attorney, says between 2010 and 2012, he imported intrauterine devices intended only for use in Turkey.
The tragic situation is it appears to be the same product that is being sold, made by the Bayer Company, a large German national corporation. And it's unfortunate that a doctor can't buy them cheaper and then not find himself facing a situation like this.
The situation, he broke federal law. The IUDs were not FDA approved. Dr. King then billed Medicaid $68,000 for the devices.
Were any patients at risk at all?
No, not at all.
I just felt like I knew it wasn't right.
This Owensboro woman, we'll call Jane, says Dr. King implanted her IUD in 2011 and charged Medicaid for his services.
2 weeks into it, I was having complications like a stabbing, like pulling, and I went in there with pain, and he said the IUD must not be right. So I asked him if I could just take it out, and so he began to, and he said, it's not coming out, and I was like, what do you mean it's not coming out?
Jane says Dr. King had to surgically remove it, and due to complications, removed her uterus too, a hysterectomy at 22 years old.
My life has been ruined because where I have so much pain.
The FDA issued an alert in 2010 warning practitioners nationwide not to use unapproved IUDs. That's due to concerns on their effectiveness, safety, and potential for fraud and counterfeiting.
The FDA issues things all the time, and if the doctors spent all their time reading and memorizing them, they'd almost need to go to law school in order to keep up with the situation. And, you know, doctors are out there to treat patients and do good for people, not necessarily to interpret laws.
It kind of ruined me and my fiance's relationship because we was always going to wait, you know, a couple years maybe to have a girl. So we're like, we want that girl. So I just never did, because it was just like conned into me that I'm done.
The alert follows a class action lawsuit filed in Rhode Island where OBGYNs were buying cheaper, non-approved versions of IUDs through a Canadian pharmacy and charging insurers full price. A $5 million settlement was just reached in March.
It doesn't necessarily mean that the devices other places are different devices. They may, in fact, be exactly the same device. Although, you know, I can't say for sure, but they may be the same, produced by the same company with the same amount of hormone, and that exact device, had it come through the U.S., would have had the FDA seal of approval.
The American Congress of Obstetricians and Gynecologists says OBGYNs in private practice charge as much as $1,000 for an IUD. The same non-FDA approved versions reportedly half the cost. In his effort to save money, Dr. King will refund the federal government, paying $68,000 in restitution. Through the plea agreement, Dr. King will also have a $1,000 fine and be on probation for 1 year. Now, a judge must sign off on that. Dr. King's sentencing hearing is set for July 14th. His attorney says his medical license will not be impacted. However, I've been unable to confirm that with the Kentucky Medical Licensing Board.